If you've been posting on Pinterest but you've not been getting any clicks to your website, then you're probably making this mistake. Your pin titles are just not very enticing to click on. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 different templates that you can use to write pin titles that will actually make people click. Newsflash: Pinterest is a search engine. This means that one of the ways that people will find your content is through your title. So you want to make sure that you use the correct keywords in your title. So don't become too clever or too sweet with your titles. But you also want to make sure that that title then actually entices people to click on. And especially if you are in a niche that's fairly saturated, where there are hundreds of choices, you want to make sure that people click on your pin rather than on someone else's. And to do so, we have 4 different templates that you can follow, and I also will show you examples for each one of these templates. Number 1, the desired outcome without something that people do not want or that they believe they actually need to get that desired outcome. So an example for pin generator would be how to create dozens of unique pins in seconds without using Canva. Some other examples that I found: how to make your kids act out without yelling, and how to be assertive without being rude. So as you notice, each time the without is something that either people think is really hard to do. So how to be assertive without being rude. People think that that's a fear that they have. It's like, okay, I will be rude if I'm too assertive. Same thing with how can you make your kids act out without yelling. So one of the things that people believe is that they would have to yell in order to make their kids not act out. And this is really why it works, because it creates this gap in people's minds of like, okay, this is interesting because I thought it was necessary. The second title is a listicle title, but then you make it more specific. So listicles do extremely well on Pinterest, but there is also so much competition, so you want to make sure that yours stand out. So one example that I found was this one for indoor activities for high energy kids that are low prep. So again, it makes it very desirable because it is something that people worry about. It is something where they're like, okay, all these activities, but then I will spend like hours preparing for it. And the fact that it says low prep makes it much more enticing to click on. So rather than just saying 50 indoor activities, it becomes 50 indoor activities that are low prep. Then the third template is to ask a question, and you get bonus points if the answer is yes or if the answer creates a curiosity gap. When people go like, and they need to know what the answer is to that question in order to be able to close that gap in their mind. So then they will click on your pin and they will read your article in order to get the answer to the question. So an example of this is, want a clean house? And people are like, yes. So then here are the 6 ways that you can do it. Another example that plays more on that curiosity gap is, why doesn't my home look cohesive? And when you read that question, you're like, yeah, why doesn't my home look cohesive? Now I need to know. Click. And then the 4th template is use numbers. So anytime you have specific numbers in your blog post that you can use on your pins, use them. And especially if they are really big or if they are very odd. And one of the examples for this is from our own case studies, where it says 5 million views and 66,000 clicks, a Pinterest success story. So now people are impressed by the number and they want to know how somebody did this. And so they click on the pin to learn more. All right, now it's up to you. Go over your last blog post and try these 4 title templates and see if you can create pins that are more curiosity driven, that are more enticing, and that will get more clicks. And of course, if you want more Pinterest marketing advice, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you get notified when we post new videos.